Hey there, gorgeous. I think you look absolutely stunning today. I'm so happy to see you here. Today we are reacting to some insane cheating stories on TikTok. These are crazy. I know you love some petty stuff, so I got these gathered for you. Make sure you check all the links in the description below. But without the further ado, let's get started.
Anyway, I tell you guys how I found out my ex was cheating on me through a reflection of a picture. And like, I am so serious. I found out he was cheating on me because I literally was able to see a reflection in a picture. It was going great. Like, everything was fine. Like, we would FaceTime every single morning, every single night. Like, when I would get ready for school, like, we'd be on the phone, always a good morning text. Like, we were like medium distance, so we saw each other every single weekend. And he would always update me. Like, he was busy, he would text me. Like, he'll let me know, like, oh, I'm gonna be busy today. So I never worried about anything until one weekend he told me he's gonna be like super busy the whole day. He's gonna be with his family because his family from Michigan is coming like up to see him. So then I'm like, okay, like, that's fine. He's barely responding all day, but I was just like, he's like with his family, so it's okay. So he goes, like, his location's like at this like Italian restaurant, and then I see him post like a blurry picture of like him like at the restaurant. It's just his plate and then like his hand. But then tell me why in like the reflection of the spoon, like, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I don't know, I really feel like this was like God like really trying to show me something, because like, why can I see a reflection in a spoon? Anyways, in the reflection of the spoon, I see a wine glass and I see red acrylic nails holding the wine glass. So I go,
this smells like he is with someone.
Like, through his following at this point, and I'm like trying to see if I can find like one, like a girl posting a restaurant, like, because usually when you're on a date night, you post that you're on a date night. And he only followed like 300 people, so I was like, this is gonna be easy. I literally found her. I found her. She posted him, like, she didn't post him, but like she posted like their plates, and I was like, yeah, like, this is her. So I text my best friend and I'm like telling her like literally what's going on, and she's like, let's pull up, like, we need to pull up. So I pull up to the restaurant, and there and behold, like, they're literally sitting right there. Like, so I call him to see.
Sometimes us girls are like FBI agents. Literally, you found that out within a reflection, and then you checked someone else's story and you're like, yep, I know exactly where they are, I know exactly who it is. Girl. A real detective right there.
If he'll take my call, and he he takes it, like, he's just like tells her, like, hold on. I see him mouth, my sister's calling me, and then he like leaves the table and he's like, hey baby, blah blah blah, like starts talking to me on the phone. So then I'm like, oh, okay. So I go up to their table while he's talking to me on the phone, because where he was standing, he couldn't see me.
The audacity to call her a baby and everything. It's crazy.
I go up to their table while he's talking to me on the phone, and I like sit down, and then I'm like, okay, like, she's looking at me crazy. And then like I like hang up the phone, and then he comes back to the table and he sees me. Yeah. And I was just like, it's so cute that you like Italian, right? Isn't it cute that you like Italian? You're bringing her? Is this your first date? And then she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, he didn't tell you he has a girlfriend of 8 months? Like, how can you miss it? How can you miss it? And then, yeah, and then I just got up and I left, because fuck, I blocked him.
And for you. Yeah. Good that you blocked them right away. You got it over with. This is sort of a good revenge. He got caught red-handed. I could just imagine the look on his face when he's like, oh, you're sitting with my date. He got some explaining to do, especially to his girl that he brought on a date with. She's probably so confused. She's like, what is going on here? Who is this girl and why she just sat there? That one was rough. I have gotten some more for you guys, but let me know in the comments, what do you think about this one? Story time. Husband cheated on me while pregnant. Sounds rough already, huh?
That has to do with my post that went somewhat viral on Facebook. That had to do with my husband cheating on me when I was pregnant, and I kind of debated posting on anything, but when I was going through my really difficult time, there were a lot of women on TikTok that were posting their stories, and they were going through the same thing as me, and it really helped me relate to somebody else. along with all of the women that have reached out to me to tell me their story and things that they had gone through when they were pregnant. And so I thought maybe if I post something, it can help somebody else out or someone else.
Yeah, definitely sharing your story sometimes in the public. I know sometimes these are so private. Helps a lot of you all out there who are struggling with the same thing. So yeah, this is the best way to do it. If you are comfortable with sharing, this is the best way for other people to feel seen. So don't be scared to share your story. Sometimes you will feel better about yourself, as well as you'll be able to connect with people who are going through that same thing and be able to support you because they understand what you're going through. So yeah, that is such a good decision.
Someone else can relate to it. But at the beginning or middle of September of last year, my husband was making his work schedule, and I had noticed a new girl was posted. And my heart instantly dropped just because he is not known for being the most honest and trustworthy person when it comes to other women. And he also tends to cross boundaries. So I asked him about her, and he said that she was a new girl, that she was young, and that nothing could happen because he was her boss. So I tried to ignore it, but something was just telling me that something wasn't right. And as time went on, he started doing things that most people that are cheating do. He was deleting text messages, sleeping on his phone. He started going to the gym at 4 in the morning, not getting back until 7, 8 o'clock at night from work. Just a lot of things were going on. He also would get really angry at like the most inconvenient things. Like if I was involved, it just seemed like my presence really annoyed him. And anytime I would ask him about her just for some reassurance, he would get really angry about it. And this was starting to really affect my pregnancy. I started losing a lot of weight because I couldn't eat. I couldn't get myself to take a shower. I also was going through a lot of like an emotional roller coaster with him, because one day he would be really mean and the next he would be sorry and crying and telling me that he couldn't live without me and that he couldn't wait for the baby. So I didn't really know what was going on with him. But the day that did it for me was October 8th. I went outside to hang out with him because he was doing yard work. And there's actually a video of this I took off of our camera. He was ignoring me, giving me the silent treatment. He wouldn't look at me. He just didn't want anything to do with me. And I decided that night that I was going to have to leave and go stay with my mom. So I ended up sleeping in our basement. I also was really sick around this time.
First of all, I need to pause because I feel so much for this girl. Unfortunately, she's going through so much alone by being in a relationship as well. That is just so disgusting. I don't understand why men sometimes can't just understand the fact that you cannot be treating a woman this way if you just both decide to have a child together. She's completely dealing with this on her own.
So I told him when I did leave, which I had to pack whatever I could fit into bags. I also had to leave our dog, which was really difficult, that I had to leave our dog because of my husband's decisions. I told him that I would stay at my mom's until I was feeling better and then I would be back. And he told me that he wanted space and that he did not want me to come back and he just didn't want me talking to him. I did call and message him a few times, and after a while I just ended up texting him and telling him that I wanted a divorce and that I would come get my stuff. He did not fight me on that. He said that he actually wanted to meet up with me and talk to me somewhere where I felt comfortable, which I knew what he was doing. He wanted to get the last word in. So I ended up meeting up with him, and he told me out of respect of being his girlfriend and fiance, didn't even say his wife, that me texting him when he asked for space was too much for him, and that he did not want me to be with him, or he didn't want to be with me, and he was done. And but he said it had nothing to do with another girl. But later on, mentioned that the pictures that were shown on the TV, he was going out on dates with her in October. So anyways, fast forward, he ends up filing for divorce in November, and I waited for him to do it just because if he was going to be the one running around, I figured he can pay for it. I didn't really hear from him much after that. He'd check in here and there asking how the baby was doing, which was kind of an awkward question because I didn't know how to respond to that. He was just kind of mean, didn't want to talk. If I did respond back, he wouldn't say anything back to my message. So also I went to go get my baby's things from our house, and when I went in, the girl had already moved some of her things in. Her stuff was in where my bathroom things were. She had things in the kitchen. He had thrown all of my furniture and personal belongings into our bedroom, expecting me to move all of that out while heavily pregnant. I couldn't even walk around in the room because my stomach was in the way.
Crazy.
So as much as he never wanted to admit it, I mean, I already physically could see that she was moved in, and yeah. So I ended up having my baby. He came to the hospital to see her. He didn't say thank you. He didn't bring flowers. He didn't really say much of anything. The most he talked about was about divorce stuff.
Talking about divorce stuff when you literally just gave birth to a baby. At this point, I think, girl, you dodged a bullet. Unfortunately, yes, you probably would need to raise your baby alone. But listen, dodged a complete bullet. This man sounds like a complete a-hole. This man sounds like he's a complete douchebag for making you feel this way. There are 2 more minutes left of this video, so...
And then 20 days later, we had it provisional, which planned out his visitation. And for pickup and drop-off, he started bringing the girl and dropping her off at random parts of where we have to meet up. And I had run into them awkwardly a few times, and I had told him that, like, that's super weird, you might as well just bring her. So after a while of him doing that, he did end up bringing her, but he would park far away to where I couldn't see her. And if I could see her, her head would be down. She hasn't introduced herself, nothing.
What are these children?
And he still does that, but the photos on the TV that everyone was asking about. So I had just gotten out of the shower and I walked into my room. His Roku was connected to the TV when he lived with me at my mom's for a few years, which I completely forgot about. But a photo had come up of my baby and I was like, oh, that's super cute, but I've never seen that before. That's weird. And then just multiple photos of him and the girlfriend were coming up. And that was just really hurtful to see that he was out pampering himself, going on vacations and going out to bars while I was depressed and practically bedridden. I could not get myself to get out of bed. And then the last photo I saw was her holding my newborn baby, which was also very weird to see her smiling like that with my baby. So I got really angry about it and decided to post it on Facebook, and I did not expect it to go as viral as it did. But that's practically the gist of the story, and I really appreciate everyone that has reached out to me and given me their love and support, and I hope that this video can help somebody else that has gone through or is going through this or has gone through it and can relate to me. But yeah.
I am absolutely shocked on how calm she just said this whole story. I am boiling inside. I cannot explain how disgusting this man is and his actions. I would never let another woman touch my baby. Especially after a story like this. It's not like, oh, you guys discussed this and you're like, okay, we need to divorce, blah, 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 like peacefully. But he cheated on you with her. She's not the homewrecker. Your husband is, right? Besides the point, the whole thing is just so messed up. I don't think this should be going in like that. That is horrible. That is horrible. I have no other words to say. we are moving on to the next one.
How I found out that I got cheated on Valentine's Day. This was a very long time ago, so I am definitely over it, but I think it's a funny story to tell. This happened with my ex.
First of all, you are so pretty.
So we were together for 4 years. He lived in San Jose. I lived in Stockton. We did meet in San Jose. I'm from San Jose, but I moved out here and then we're doing like long distance. He planned this whole dinner. He took me to sushi. He got me a nice gift, paid for everything. When I tell you guys, the bar was on the floor. He was treating me so nice to the point that it made me suspicious. Never does all of this. I know, I'm so embarrassed, but I used to pay for mostly everything, so it was definitely like out of the ordinary for me, to the point where like my intuition just went off. Something is wrong. Since I lived in
I have actually been in that situation too. My current husband is actually the sweetest person ever, but he took care of me in the, like, he does still, but I'm just saying in the beginning of our relationship, the way he took care of me was a little bit suspicious to me too, because previously I wouldn't be treated that way for some reason. It's probably I chose the wrong partners, but in general, I would be paying for a lot of our dates. I would not be getting gifts. I wouldn't be taken to a fancy restaurant. But when I was taken by my current boyfriend or husband, I felt suspicious. I thought there was like either a glitch in the system or he was expecting something in return, but no, this is just how it should be if a man is treating you well, right? But I really hope this is not a really bad situation, but I'm just saying, like, in some cases this could be suspicious, but other than that, this is just an amazing gesture, and sometimes it could be extremely awesome, like in my situation.
In Stockton, I was planning to sleep over that night anyway, so I thought in my head, as soon as this man falls asleep, I am gonna check his phone. He had this problem with this one girl that he would talk to all the time. He actually became best friends with her on Snapchat. I wasn't even his best friend no more, so he would Snapchat her more than he would Snapchat me, and I already had a problem with this, but again, I was the cool girlfriend and I thought it was okay and normal for guys to have a ton of girlfriends. So the first thing I go do is go check his Snapchat, and he had deleted messages with her, so I didn't really get to see anything. Just started to think, I'm like, this guy posted me today, like posted our dinner date, so I'm gonna check who did he block from watching his story. Look at the block list. This girl was blocked from viewing his story, and I just knew. My stomach dropped to the floor. I had a feeling where I just knew he was cheating on me with this girl, because why else would he not want her to see our stories? I literally wake his ass up in the middle of the night and I'm all like, just be honest with me. Seeing that you blocked her from watching our stories, did you cheat on me? Like, I just said it like that, and he just stares at me with like a blank face, and you could tell he was like contemplating, and he just admits that he cheated on me. I was just like, what do you mean? Did you just kiss her? Did you just go on a date with her? He was like, no, like, I cheated on you. I was so heartbroken, but I wanted to know everything. Like, I made him tell me everything. When did it happen? How did it happen? What did you guys do? Where did you guys do it at? Like, he did tell me, and then he started breaking down. He was hitting himself. He told me that he wanted to off himself when he did it, that he regretted it so much, and he was begging me not to leave. Such a narcissist. God. Like, I should have been the one crying. I was really young and dumb. Never again. I did stay with him for a little bit after that, but it wasn't because I wanted to. Honestly, in my young head, I didn't want him to be with that girl. I stayed with him, but I like came up with like my exit plan. Like, I started slowly checking out. I started going to the gym, going out with friends. At some point where I actually started talking to a few other guys. So when that happened, I was like, okay, it's time for me to just exit out of this relationship. I did break up with him. Glad that I left when I left, because as you guys know, like, I've lost over 80 pounds since I broke up with him. I built a platform. I became a coach. I'm currently with this beautiful, tall, blue-eyed, sexy, protective, masculine man who takes care of me and treats me like a freaking queen. You know, we all live and learn. Now I'm a little more wiser. Sometimes you need to get your heart broken by a frog in order to find your Prince Charming. So
I love the way she said that. I love the way she said that. That is actually a really nice way to put it. I'm so glad she was able to recover from this in a very amazing and healthy way. Yeah, as we grow, we just go a lot more wiser in situations like this. So yeah, I definitely agree. This was a rough situation, but him being so narcissistic about it, like, oh, I cheated on you, I'm gonna off myself. No, chill. Like, you already made that decision. All right, next.
That my fiance was cheating on me right in the middle of his proposal to me. Like, literally as it was happening. Now, I was madly in love with this man. I was head over heels, would do whatever he said. If he said jump, I would say how high. At the time, we had been dating for about 2 years, maybe a little bit under 2 years. And the fact that he was even proposing was a shock to me, because even though that I was madly in love with him, I didn't quite feel that we were ready for it. But one day, he just decided to surprise me, took me to Orlando for a little bit of fun at the amusement parks, because, you know, I like to get down like that with some childish, lighthearted fun. So once we got to the amusement park, he decides to sign up to be a contestant on one of the competition games performances that they had at this theme park. So right before the show is about to start and he's about to start to compete, he hands me over his cell phone and says, babe, please film this. I want you to see what's going to happen. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. How much fun. Like, this is my dream come true. Competition starts. There was like 3 or 4 events that he had to compete with others to win. And ultimately, he won. But remember, I'm filming, right? And I'm filming from his cell phone that he told me to hold. So here I am with his little cell phone filming, all excited, all proud of my man. He starts to receive text messages that are popping up on the screen. The text messages turned out to be from his mistress that he's been messing with the whole time we are together. And she's pissed. God. She's really pissed. I guess that morning he had texted her to let her know, like, hey, it's over between us because I'm about to get engaged today. And she threw a shit fit, even though she herself was married. So at this point, my heart absolutely drops and like I want to vomit. And I'm sitting here in a crowd with hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people, trying to keep my hands steady and filming what's happening as he's proposing and announcing it to this whole freaking stadium full of people. But I really know what's happening as I'm seeing these texts flash across the screen. Trauma. Deep breaths, Tiffany. Deep breaths. Now listen, I am not the type of girl that likes it when people see me sweat. I keep my cool. I just smile and I pretend that I'm the just most elated, happiest woman on the planet. So since this proposal has been blasted all over the big screen, that everyone around me is so excited for me, they're congratulating me, and I'm just like in shock and awe. I somehow managed to keep my composure and to just walk outside of the stadium and wait for him outside. Once he shows up, he immediately gives me a huge hug, tells me that he loves me, and of course, does the proposal again to my face this time, not just on the big screen. There's so many people watching. Remember, we're in the middle of a theme park with thousands of people. So I quickly grab him and drag him into the nearest restaurant in this theme park that I could find. And I bring him over to the bar area and I sit him down and I tell him everything that I know. He didn't try to deny it. He knew that he was caught. And for the next 30 minutes, he proceeded to just tell me everything that he thought that I wanted to hear. And I was just numb. The only words that I could manage to muster up at this point were, baby, this 2-carat diamond ring, it's just not going to be enough.
Yeah, that was rough. Did you see me stutter or did you see her stutter at any point? Listen, I wasn't able to... First of all, that is super embarrassing in both situations. To his like ex-married blah 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 mistress and to this girlfriend that he's proposing to. What? How embarrassing, how narcissistic and entitled you could be to propose in a situation like that. And I mean, I guess try to block this mistress at least if you're trying to hide something, right? I'm so confused. What? That is crazy. We have our final one. What do you think about this one, though? That one was crazy to me.
Tell you how my ex cheated on me. Oh, God. I'm here with Prime Video to celebrate the launch of WILDEST, and it's about cheating. I thought it tied in perfectly with how my ex cheated on me. Never told this story before, so we were in a long-distance relationship. He came to visit me from Paris to London. I thought it would be a really good idea to greet him with a literal plaque, basically standing like an idiot at King's Cross Station. He comes out the Eurostar, it's all cute and romantic. We're back to my family home, bear in mind, and we have a nice evening together. The next next morning comes and he wakes up really early and he was like, babe, I need to go meet up with some friends. And I said to him, you don't have any friends in London. He goes on to say, oh, no, I made some friends in Paris and they want to see me. And I was like, a bit weird, but okay, go see your friends. So I get on with my day and it gets to 6 p.m. and I'm like, are you going to come home? He was like, oh, I'm running a bit late.
What?
Finally gets home at like 7 p.m. Me being delusional again, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But then we go to bed. And I swear to God, in the 2 years of us being together, I had never even thought about going through his phone. But my gut was screaming at me. So he goes to sleep. And for about 20 minutes, I'm praying that I would not find anything because I was so in love with this man. I go to his side of the bed and I go to WhatsApp. Not even a girl's name, a nickname. My Sexy Tourist. My heart fell through my chest. Texts on texts. My heart broke in that moment, I'm not gonna lie. He had obviously met this girl in Paris and had been seeing her. He was like, Kiara, I can't help, I met someone else. It's the first thing he said to me. At this point, I nearly called the police on him. He obviously then apologized and was like, no, I love you so much. I was like, get out of my house. It was the worst night of my entire life. Anyway, so I can tell you this now because I'm over it. But yeah, that was a whirlwind. Because Wilderness is about cheating, I was like, I need to tell my story now.
Oh, that was horrible. That was horrible. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe. I will be seeing you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.